Hey, what's up, brother JT? Responding to you here, man. Sorry if this is becoming a little repetitive. There's so many questions, well, so many things. Um, it's hard to address a lot of things like this in email. And I type fast. I'm an accountant, and I type very fast, but I have a tendency to be very long-winded in typing because I type so fast, and it would be walls of text. So I want to just try to keep it in this format and let me know if this works for you, man. Because I see your responses are you're definitely addressing, the things that I've been saying, whatnot, and it's just easier for me this way. Not to mention, I thought about commenting on your comment, but it said it would be public, and like I said, I was trying to keep this between me and you. If you don't mind about that, I'll certainly do it. I don't even know. I mean, being that the videos are unlisted, if it would even show up on a public uh, platform on YouTube. I'm not sure, but this is good dialogue, so I appreciate it, man. Um, I think I'm looking at the comment that you put. It says 11 hours ago. It's about. I'm in Nebraska. I think you're in Texas. I think so. It's about 11 o'clock here. So I'm gonna do the one that it said 11 hours ago. Your comment. Um, I know you said that you don't believe it's compromising because you look at it as a blessed day, born day. And again, what I was saying in the video uh, that you responded to, again, what you said is key because it's the way you look at it. But how does he look at it? Um, how does God look at it? Um, how does he perceive it? Like, we know how we perceive it, but um, how does he look at it? Whether we can and from that mindset, like you said, you look at it as a born day or blessed day. We can look at something that's evil and dress it up as it's good. It's a. I once heard somebody say, "We know, the devil had this, but we're taking it back." And it's like, how can you take away? How can you take something and make it yours when it's not yours in the first place? Because there is like a dividing line. That the line can become thin and blurred when we start doing things like that. Like, and that's in my opinion. That's my own conviction. Um, the lines can become blurred and thin when God dictates a very bold separation in things, as far as this is the way it is, um, and we can dress it up as something that for the sake of justifying, to where it just I don't know I don't know. That's the type of conviction that I have. It's either black or white. There's no gray, and it's not necessarily looking at um, you know taking the evil aspect of something and not recognizing the good in it. Well, you reverse that. It's just looking at the good and siphoning out the evil from something that is considered. God said don't do it, and everything that God does is good. So if He's saying something in regards to don't do this, um, there's a definite reason as to why, and it's not of God. It's not good. So that's my take on that one. And it's tough. Like you said, you hold your son up, and like you said your son was born, held him up, and gave him back to God. That's a beautiful thing. As far as the recognition of those types of things, and I hate to. It doesn't know justice just to call something like that a thing. It's a life changing event, but there's I forgot where the verse is. I got to look it up. where he said, the day that you were born, well, look upon the day of your death more important than the day you were born. I forget, I'm paraphrasing the verse, but it's tough. And it wasn't Jesus who said it. It was somebody in the, I can't remember who said it, but it was tough. It hit me because it was like, in regards to birthdays, you figure you're born into the world on the birthday, on your birthday. But the most important day is considered your death, or your death to the world and being born again. If anything, I was actually thinking yesterday, I said, yo, I want to maybe start, I said, forget my born day, my physical born day into this world. And my death day to the world is more important. Recognizing my death to the world and being rebirthed in the spirit with Christ. That's something that I'm gonna pray on. But that I was thinking on that yesterday. I know you said your wife, cares. It's tough, man. I'm telling you, you dealing with my wife on things, and talking to her about things. You have to be equally yoked, and there are things that we have to step together in, and be in agreement on, and being in accord on. I understand. I get it, man. I get it, especially when it comes to your kids and your family. And like you said, I really respect, like you said, you teach them both ways, the truth, and well, not necessarily teach them both ways, but you tell them what the truth is. So my grandma turning 105, man, I was raised by my grandparents. This is something very new for me as far as the birthday goes. It's like I love my grandma, man. Like, seriously, it would hurt. It would hurt for me to feel the way that I feel right now, and then come her birthday next year in February to be like, grandma, that's an Egyptian practice. I can't do it. According to the world, I can't do it. And my grandmother respects the word, but there is a worldly indoctrination that we're all accustomed to, customs, traditions that are ingrained in us, to where it's that separation. I mean, from things. Again, I always sum it up as the very few who find the path, the straight and narrow, and the ones who go to the broad. I always sum it up that way now. Like, are you a part of the few, or are you a part of the many? And the very few that find it, I was talking to my wife about this earlier. I said, hey, that narrow path, I actually had a dream on it earlier this morning, and that's why we were talking about it. I said, that path, you look at that path, think about it. If you liken it to like a physical path, and like a passage, like a field or something like that. That path, it can be hard to find because, for one, it's off the beaten path. It's narrow. It's probably got a lot of weeds. It's probably got it looked like it ain't been mowed or edged or anything like that in years. And it's obfuscated. But there's some hedging that needs to be done to clear that path, not only for yourself, but for the people that are with you, the people that are following you, looking up to you, because you're following him. I may have to touch on that dream, man. That dream was pretty ill. That dream that I had this morning was wow. It was one of those quick ones too. I had something in my spirit. I woke up about 7. I was thinking on it, and then I went to sleep, and it was like one of those 10-minute quick power naps or whatever. And in that, he gave me this dream, and I said, wow. I woke up and I was like, wow, I get it. I may have to touch on that some other time. But anyway, let's see. The retirement party. Yeah. So water and the wine, man. Weddings, for sure. I'm there. I'm not going to drink there. Or not to say that drinking is bad, but like you said, the drunkenness is a sin. There's, one of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. And if you have no self-control, look, I'm a recovering alcoholic, over 3 years sober now. and I had to get control of that, you know. And it was only by the grace of God. It was no, it was cold turkey, in faith. No AAA or AA, whatever. No sponsor, nothing like that, man. It was by the grace of God. It was like I'm done after like 16 years of being in it. No, over that. Being in it over 20 years, and by the grace of God and his power, I was done quick. No weaning off or nothing like that. So I get it. I get it. The weight bench. Hey man, I actually just got this from my brother-in-law, my weight bench, last year. And so I'm diabetic, and been trying to, my strength in the Lord came first, and now, I'm working on my inner strength from the inside out to the outside. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now, man. So if you got any pointers for me, let me know. But yeah, it's it's an interesting walk. It's an interesting walk for sure, man. I'm gonna jump on your next comment. It said, where am I at? I'm at 11 minutes, so let me see if I can keep it under 15. The healing on the Sabbath, and it says we're supposed to, rest on the seventh day or whatnot. Do you attribute that to physical labor, as far as not working? Because works, the way I look at it is the works are 24/7. It's not necessarily work of the world or work, 9 to 5, but if somebody needs healing or witnessing testimony, or just a shoulder to lean on in the spirit, we're we're behooved to do that. And so the Pharisees, it's always, look in the spirit. One thing I say about the difference between the old and the new, one of the big dividing lines is that everything was physical in the Old Testament, and in the New Testament, everything became spiritual. So it wasn't about, it was about still keeping the Sabbath as far as not working in the physical, but there were still works in the spiritual that we're definitely still held accountable for. We're still, it's expected of us to do if we need to do it, if it comes. So what's your opinion on that? Do you think it's like just that not working on the Sabbath and resting, is that for spiritual works as well? Does it negate having to do the works of the Lord on the Sabbath, which is Saturday? I know you with that, so yes, it's Saturday. So let's see. Some gathering just to see my family. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that real quick. The compromise in, I'll say this. If dang, how can I say this? Somebody sent me a video on the New Bethel Church, like a Bethel church or whatever, doing this ceremony with this black lady. She was like a black witch. They were on stage, and she had the staff of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. And she was up there with pastors or whatever, and she said this staff represents God's covenant, God's promise about, and this just happened last year, about, getting away from COVID and stopping the COVID and the this is during the George Floyd, racist thing and all that or whatever. And they all grabbed this staff and boom, 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 hit the stage a few times while repeating this mantra. And this lady was, somebody had sent me this video, and they were like, what do you think of this? I was like, nah. What does it say in Deuteronomy about wizardry and witchcraft and whatnot? I'm not supposed to take part of it. And she said, the lady that sent it to me, she said, well, the Spirit was just using her in that moment, with that movie and that, staff as an example of, removing something. And I said, well, to me, he isn't going to use anything that he says we shouldn't be doing anyway. That's like him telling me to go watch porn to learn about sexual immorality. It's not going to work that way. So there is very subtle deception in a few things, and there's a dividing line, like you said. Um, like you said, and if your family, dang, I'm over 15 right now. Um, that went a lot longer than I thought. So seeing somebody for the sake, like somebody in your family, if you knew that was the last time you're going to see him, are you going to do it if it's out of accordance with what the word says, how there is supposed to be a separation of certain things we're not supposed to do. I'm not gonna go to a brothel or a whole house or a whorehouse rather to see my brother if he's in dire straits. I'm gonna pick him up from there, but I'm not gonna sit down there with him right next to him while he's getting the lap dance or whatever and be like, hey, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And whatever else happens there, I'm not gonna be. I'm like, hey, you need to come up out of there. Let's talk outside on the corner in the car. But and I know Jesus, was amidst the sick, the people that needed him, in the ghettos, and whatnot. But he did not sacrifice his core. He didn't compromise on he was invited to a lot of these when he sat down with the tax collectors and whatnot and broke bread. But there was always a mission involved. He was on a mission the whole time he was here. So there has to be substance and purpose for us compromising on these, I believe, 100% of the time, if we're going to utilize these types of situations for the greater benefit of the kingdom. Um, and the Tony thing, I think that's neither here nor there, man. I mean, um, it's being in the music world, man. It's man, it's walking a tightrope. It really is, and I certainly coming from. Look, man, I used to rap and all that. I used to rap, listen to everything. Um, it's just one of those things that he led me away from. Um, and being a musician, if you're doing it for the glory and honor of God, for sure, it's again that's your own personal conviction. I think as far as how you get down with that, whatever he leads you and however he leads you, and it's as long as it's you not leading yourself. Um, Forget what everybody else does. I kind of sum it up as, hey, at the end of time, I'm not gonna be looking up at you for you to judge me. I'm gonna be looking up at him. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna stand there. It's not gonna be that person standing there judging me. It's gonna be his judgment that counts. At the end of the day, everybody else's is by the wayside. So, um, thank you for taking the time again. We gotta. This is I love this dialogue, man. I don't get to talk like this too much with people on this that are on that level that can rationalize in the spirit and no emotions, no hoopla, no loud, no whatever. It's definitely iron sharpening iron. So thank you so much, man. You have a blessed day with your family, and look forward to talking to you soon, man. Thanks.